Welcome, my friends. Yes, welcome to another episode of Nintendo Nightcap, bringing you all the latest Nintendo news. And today, we got a pretty big story, if it is to be believed, and that is the notion that we will be getting another Nintendo Direct this week. Yes, we got one last week. Apparently, we're going to get one this week, and that is coming from Zach from SwitchForce, who is adamant. He's adamant. He says he knows there's another Direct this week. Now, why are we getting it? Is it because of the divisive nature of the last Direct? Is Nintendo listening to its fans? Likely not. It could well be he's hinting at that this was always the plan from Nintendo and we just have to suck it up. Now, I've heard nothing myself. I've reached out. I'm going to wait and see if I hear anything, but at the moment I've heard nothing. But I am more than inclined to believe Zach from SwitchForce. He was also right about the last Direct. So why don't we go and listen to what he has to say exactly about this new Direct.
I know that there is another Nintendo Direct this week, okay? But just to be super clear, before you get your hopes up for Metroid Prime 4 and the new 3D Mario and the Animal Crossing tease, it's not that Direct. All of a sudden the tables flip and I've got the info. I'm telling you that the partner showcase that just took place was phase 1 of a 3-phase Nintendo Direct program, okay? So now as we look forward, everybody is eager for the next thing and nobody's thinking that there's a Direct anytime soon. They're thinking, okay, September, October, Mario's 40th, but there's actually one very soon. It's right in your near future, okay? And this is not the Direct where you're going to see Metroid Prime 4. This is not the Direct where you're going to see if there's a holiday game. This is not the Direct where you're going to see release dates for the upcoming titles that we want release dates for. But there still are some very good things in here, and there still will be games that you will want to play this week, at least I think. There's one that I really want to play this week, and I'm spacing out waiting for it, okay? And I'd love to know if you trust Nintendo. Do you trust the layout they have? Do you trust the plan and the process and the 3-step presentation model that they like to employ? Do you believe that they are actually going to come through for you, even if it takes longer than you want? Like, knowing that this is not the big one, are you okay with that? Does it piss you off? Can you be patient if you know that Nintendo has a plan and that they're executing it as they intended, as they always intended, whether we like it or not? This is what Nintendo had planned. Do you trust and believe in Nintendo to be patient, to reap the rewards, right? Eventually. We know that there's a Direct. I know that there's a Direct, I'm telling you, this week, and it doesn't have any of those dates in it. So it seems like Nintendo has this plan and progression. And if there is going to be something added to the calendar, it will be October, November, and December, okay? I could easily see them doing a Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition. I could easily see them doing a Mario Maker Switch 2 edition, or bringing about a Mario Maker 3, a Luigi's Mansion 3. We've talked about those games. But what can you get excited for this week? All right, so we've got a presentation this week, and like I said, I'm spacing out for one of the games that I'm very excited about. But you're gonna see other titles that have been announced for other platforms also coming to this platform, and you're going to see a demo. I'll give you that. All right, so let me know what you think about this and what you'd be excited to see in this presentation. Are you kind of putting the pieces together here? Are you building the bricks of what Nintendo has going on? Let's let the third parties at least try to survive here, at least try to live. Let's let a game like Borderlands 4 maybe get some sales. Let some of these third-party games that couldn't be picked up at launch, like the Cyberpunks and the Kunutsugamis, like let's let those games actually get some sales. Street Fighter 6, because if we just continue to hit Nintendo, maybe they looked back at their data from Switch 1 and were like, dude, we absolutely cannibalized the market by getting all the sales, which was great, but it left third parties sort of in a lurch. So I could see Nintendo actually utilizing a slower cadence to start off here, and then they'll ramp things up. But regardless, what are you expecting to see at the Direct this week? Are you pumped and primed?
So, my friends, there you go. Very interesting news from Zach from SwitchForce right there, who is saying that we will be getting a Direct this week. Now, he's being very vague about a lot of things, understandably so. He wants to protect those sources, and it doesn't sound as like what he's saying it's going to be a general Direct. He talks about a demo appearing this week. Interestingly enough, I heard about a demo for the last Direct, but it was a demo that I would be interested in, said my source. And so I don't know if the demo that we ended up getting for Elliot was the one that I was supposed to be interested in, or whether there was another demo for another game that didn't show up. We've heard, of course, from Christopher Dring that he said there was three games specifically that he was told about that did not show up in the Direct. So Nintendo is doing some funky things with its messaging. We're hearing here from Zach from SwitchForce that there is a free wave messaging program, let's say, right? So we got the first one last week. Apparently we're getting one this week, and we're going to get one, I don't know, next week or further down the line anyways. Now, as I said, I'm inclined to believe Zach from SwitchForce, but what could this Direct this week be? If we get a demo as well, I highly doubt it's going to be, I hope I'm wrong, but I highly doubt it's going to be a demo for a big game, right? One of the big hitters from Microsoft, Capcom, Ubisoft, any of them. If it's a game we've heard of already that's been listed for another console, that narrows it down a little bit. We'd have to see what else is out this week. But what do I think it's going to be? Well, I don't think it's going to be a general Direct, even though Nintendo really needs to put these release dates on some of its big games. But I think it's either going to be a mini Direct or an Indies Direct, which we haven't had since last year. That's what I believe. There's a bunch of things they could show in the Indies Direct, by the way, as well. We've got the new Little Nightmares 3, Reanimal can make an appearance. I wouldn't mind seeing an Indies Direct. Now, if it's with the information that we're getting here that, you know, a week later maybe potentially we could get another Direct, then that's cool. I almost feel as though fans would have forgiven the first Direct if they knew there was further showcases down the line, especially if those showcases were to appear a week later and potentially 2 weeks later. So, you know, it's very, very interesting, all of this information that's coming out from SwitchForce. As I said, he is very confident. He says he knows there is a Direct this week. And he went even further on next when he said this. He said, Nintendo be making me get up early again this week. So he's doubling down, and I'm definitely inclined to believe him, as I said earlier. But my friends, you guys let me know in the comments below. Do you believe what SwitchForce is saying? Do you think we're going to get a Direct this week? And is it going to be a general Direct? Is it about time Nintendo releases those release dates for the big hitters, i.e. Splatoon Raiders and Metroid Prime 4? Or do you think, like me, it's more likely going to be an Indies Direct so Nintendo can shine light on some other games that we haven't seen much of yet? You guys let me know. Now, next story of the day. Right then, my friends, this is just a short one, and it's regarding Metroid Prime 4 and its speculated release date. There's been a lot of news, a lot of speculation that the development might not be going as smoothly as we would have hoped, and in fact, some even speculating that the game could slip into 2026. Now, I don't believe that's the case. I've always maintained I believe the game would be coming this year. I'm hoping for a November release date, but now it seems as though there's more information coming by those who are going to the Canada Fan Expo, and it's by Nintendo, who have given a little bit more information, and they are saying that they believe the game is still on board for 2025. This is what they said. Fan Expo Canada attendees will have access to play the latest and upcoming titles on Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo of Canada is inviting you to visit the Fan Expo Canada in Toronto, Ontario to check out the latest and upcoming games for the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Fan Expo attendees will be able to play upcoming games like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, available later in 2025. And on the side, they're also saying that people going to this event will be able to play Hades 2, Borderlands 4, and Elden Ring, the Tarnished Edition. So there you go, my friend. Very exciting. And it's just a little bit more, a little tidbit of information, again from Nintendo, reiterating the fact that they believe they've got Metroid Prime 4 scheduled for 2025. So until further notice, until they say something else, I'm going to believe that Metroid Prime 4 will be hitting 2025. I'm hoping, as I said, for a November release date. So there you go, my friends. That is the video for today. Does that relieve your stress a little bit? Do you now believe that Metroid Prime 4 is on course to be a game this year? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think about the news that apparently we will be getting a Nintendo Direct this week? Do you believe the words coming out from SwitchForce? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, my good friends, I will be back tomorrow with all the latest Nintendo news. Have yourselves an awesome day, and I'll catch you later. Bye.